She's formerly from Saraland, Florida, Ronnie Williams.
Oh.
So she's very creative, very. And all of these pictures you see she has done. And she thinks she's not talented. That's Brenda's side.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, she is. So Brenda gives a very good presentation. I'm gonna let her get started. The plastic gloves are, so you don't have to get paint on your hands. And if you just need one of us, holler out. But it's a lot of fun, so I'm gonna turn it over to Brenda now so she can start explaining stuff.
Okay. First you want to, when you do your paints, you want to put a poured medium in them. Some of the women don't put poured mediums, they just use water. But I found poured medium actually helps the paint to stay its color. But you don't have to use it if you don't want to. But you can make your own with glue and water. And you can make it to the thickness that you want. Some of them have these mathematical scales that they've set it out with. To me, if you bake or you cook, you can do it. You ain't got to be having no formulas to make glue and water. So
You like that better than Floetrol or?
Floetrol makes more sales to me.
Okay.
I've used Floetrol and I still use it. I do the best kind that I have found, the poured medium, is called Mix, M-I-X. The people in Florida make it, and right now they're closed. They closed down for a few weeks, they're artists. They have the best poured medium that I've ever used in my life, and I've used every one of them they've got. And it's awesome because it's thick, and I've just about got there down pat with the glue, because it makes the color of the paint vivid. It doesn't lose any of its color whatsoever, and it holds absolutely fabulous. I love it. But you can use any of that.
Tell them how you mix your glue and
The
water.
glue, I try to do 50-50, glue and water. I'll stir it and see what it kind of looks like to me. If it looks like it's too watery, I'll add more glue. It's just pretty much a consistency of, let's see, I do a thick version of it, and it drizzles off the spoon, but it's super easy. Like I said, if you cook, bake.
And you're just using like white glue? Regular
School glue.
School glue.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the school glue is the best to use. You can use any of the glue, they say. I say no, don't. There's one of the Elmer's glue that's, I can't remember what it was, but I bought it and was gonna try it. It did not mix well. Once I mixed it with the paint and then went to add a little more water to my paint, it like turned into slime. So you'll ruin your paint. So I try to stick with the regular school glue and water, because like I said, it will make slime for you, and you can't fix it. There's no fixing. I even took a blender and tried to blend it.
Where do you get the school glue?
In any of the dollar stores, any of them sell it.
Yeah, that's one of
It's just a regular old Elmer's glue is all it is. And mix it with water, and you can thin it. I like to make mine, like I said, a little bit thicker, and it's just because it helps to hold the pigments in the paint. If your pigments in your paint, when you lose pigments in your paint, that's when you start getting more and more sales. The pigments in your paint make the color up in your paint. And the more water you add, or anything, even Floetrol, any of the poured mediums, you're breaking down the pigments in the paint, is what you're doing. And so I try not to break down as much of my pigments as I don't have to. And if I do, I use a poured medium to make sure that it don't break it down as much as water will. And base, you can use any color for your base. White, black. My white, I use house paint. They want you to buy that down there at the stores. You don't have to. My black base is house paint. My white, house paint. When I make the brown, I make it. I don't buy the brown. I just got a color chart, and I make the brown that I want with my white house paint and
You're
the
talking
color.
house paint, I mean, like gloss or?
Well, I use the interior.
Inside.
I use the interior.
Interior.
Yeah, interior. Make sure it's acrylic. And most house paints are acrylic. And I usually get the semi-gloss. If you can get gloss, great too. because I like the gloss, I just don't wanna pay the price. I get the cheapest I can get in house paint, because I go through so much of it, it's best just to get the cheapest paint that I can get on my whites and my black. Because the cheaper the better. I mean, I'm just being honest. Because I'm not gonna spend a ton of money on the colors, and you can, trust me.
I'm not writing any of this down. I think they're recording.
You don't have to, I promise you, it's not that hard. Look, when I first started doing this, I always wanted to paint my whole life, and I was like, I just can't do that. And when this pandemic started, I started this. And I watched one video, and I got up and went to Michael's. And I come out of Michael's with $280-something later. And I said, well, this pandemic's not gonna be good. And I got home, and I said, no, I'm not gonna watch that video again, I'm gonna try this on my own. So I mixed me up my paint, and my spouse said, how do you know how to mix up paint? And I said, well, I used to paint for a living, houses, I painted houses. I said, so, I kind of figured maybe it's be the consistency of honey. Okay, but that's kind of the consistency it's supposed to be. And now if you're gonna blow it, it should be a little bit more runnier, because in order for it to run, or you to be able to blow it, it's gonna have to be able to flow. So you want it a little bit more runnier. And so, what else? You're gonna pour their bottles. I'll put some paint in y'all's bottles so that we can start y'all's base. If y'all want to know something, ask. If I can answer it, I'll answer it.
This one, do you want me to get another bottle, because that's left over?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll add to this one
Hold on,
actually,
I've
because
got
I can add.
New ones, so
Okay.
I'll wash these out.
And poured medium never goes bad. If it thins, because I make mine up and I'll, got old jugs that I keep some of them in, and I just take and I'll mix some of the new with the old, and it jimmies right up like no problems. After you do it a couple of times, I promise it's not rocket science. It's really not. And I'm gonna add paint to this one, and I added some poured medium to it. And the paint it's real running, especially for what we're gonna be doing today. And if you want it thicker, I'll make it thicker for you. Cause all we gotta do is add more paint to it. It ain't nothing but a thing. It gets easier each time you do it, I promise. It does. I know I sound crazy with that, but I'm being honest. Everybody's like, oh, that's not gonna be easy. Oh yes, you'd be surprised how easy it'll be. All right, there's that one. And I try to mix my paints up like a few hours before I use them, because the air bubbles, and I'll show y'all that too. I use a torch to do the bubbles, but that makes sails as well. But now if you love the sails, there ain't nothing wrong with sails. I like them in some of them. Just some of them it'll get a little out there. It'll get way out there actually. So I try to mix my paints up a little bit before, but it don't really matter. I mean, because they're gonna shake them before you use it anyway, so. And usually when I'm at home, because house paint, when they make it, include board mediums when you buy them.
That's what
It'll get like trash in it. I call it trash, but it'll be like little clumps of paint and stuff. And not pour it through a strainer. I just usually, when I mix mine, I'll strain it. Alright. just because it's better to strain it actually, so, but it's no big deal. I'll make up some more just in case y'all want more white, cause y'all might want. When I do mine, I take and, do the, pour medium in first, and then I'll do pour medium to paint, and I'll mix that, and then I'll put the water in it to thinning it out to the consistency that I'm wanting. There's Dutch pour painting, and then there's pour painting. There is flip cup, dirty pour. I ain't good at none of those. Dirty pour, mine's gonna be what it says, dirty. What it is they'll mix the colors in the cup. And I can do it, but 90% of the time, I probably had a few that turned out decent. 90% of the time, it was like crap. I can't do it. There's some of them that use saran wrap, paper towels to make their art. When they put the paint on the canvas, they'll take the paper towel and they'll put over it. Go right ahead, you can do it great. I'm all for you, honey, and I'll cheer you on all day long, so I think it's beautiful. The lady that I watched do it, Sylvia from Australia, love her. She is a super sweet lady, answers any of my questions for me. She's been really great to me through all this. And all I did was start corresponding with her when I watched the videos on YouTube. And she's a super sweet lady. She does hers with paper towels. She is bad ASS. She can make some of the prettiest flowers on the canvases y'all have ever seen, and it's with a paper towel. Me? She said, send me a picture. I said, okay, no. Mine don't look like no flower, it don't represent no flower. So, there's different ways I can use the saran wrap. If I put the saran wrap on it, I can use saran wrap. Actually, one of them that's here is saran wrap that I used to make it with when I first started. And then I moved to the hair dryer. As I've done this, I've gotten a little bit more advanced.
I am so sorry. It's all right.